Hey, what's going on with you? And you know what time it is. You're on with Big J, and let's talk. Today, I want to talk about some things that I've been checking out, and some of the things that Kwame Brown is dealing with. I want to deal with them today, because when it comes to fake weakness and individuals who try to hide themselves at the expense of others, I think that needs to be talked about. And today, I'm going to talk about those things because you know why? It's relevant. Because here's the reality: we live in a world where individuals who are less than they claim to be create a facade or an image to hide their weaknesses. When you have individuals who are, I don't want to be negative and use any slanderous words, but when you have individuals who are seeking power, yet there is no power, they're almost psychopathic. They're almost, watch this, it's called the dark triad. And what the dark triad deals with is Machiavellianism, it deals with sociopaths, it deals with narcissists within the perspective of this triad. So what happens is you have individual within this triad, and what they try to do is capitalize on the ignorance of other people. And today I'm going to reference a book by Mr. Greene called The 48 Powers, all right? We're going to deal with that today because I want to show you what individuals do, and it's right before you, and most people don't even know it. They don't even see it, and it exists. I want you to understand capitalism mentally and what people do to other people, and yet you don't even know it. You want to know sometimes why individuals reject you or don't want you apart? Because they see your greatness and the possibilities. Yes, spirits are real, and people operate within that region of understanding. So what they would do, they would create a false narrative, or they would create a false narrative so you would think that you're the problem and something is wrong. That's not the case, Kwame Brown. It is those individuals who's using those 48 powers. All right, because I'm going to use 7 of them today because I want to expose the enemy. And I want to show you why those individuals hide behind the mic, because they're not really sure themselves, but they capitalize on your ignorance, not knowing who and what they are. So what we're going to do today, the Bible says that my people perish for the lack of knowledge. See, I'll let you slap me for a minute, but I'm going to sit around and see what you, what you really about. Muhammad Ali did a rope-a-dope for what? 11 rounds. Then in the 12th round, he came out swinging because the individual was tired. Sometimes you just have to sit back, take the crap, and see what a person is about before you understand and you make a move in the direction and do it before you go. Today, I want to deal with this, all right? And it's called the 48 Powers, all right? So let me show you this video real quick. You got to see this video. You have to share this with somebody.
Law number 1. Never outshine the master. Nicolas Fouquet made the mistake of appearing larger than his king, Louis XIV, and spent his remaining days incarcerated. Avoid victories over superiors.
Watch this. Watch the first thing he says. Never outshine your masters. Doesn't that sound like slavery? Kwame Brown, did you hear what he said? I'm going to show you something. Never outshine your masters. There are certain people who are weak and have kingdom type of mentalities to the way they don't want, watch this, anyone to overshine them. Or what they cheat, where they look and copy off my page, where they trying to be like me, where they trying to do this. Did you hear what he just said? These individuals are weak-minded individuals who build a symposium for others to see themselves greater than they are. So what does he say? Never outshine your masters. Well, the thing is, I'm nobody's slave and nobody's boy. Let me come back here.
It will cost you more than it is worth. Law number 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies.
Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Certain people, through a capitalist understanding, create enemies on purpose on YouTube to build their narrative, to build their channels, and to build what's necessary. There are no friends because they don't really trust anybody, because their level of cognitive understanding is so depreciated within themselves. They're lonely. Most of them are not in a relationship, male or female. Most of them are sadistic. Most of them are sadists, which reach a level or gratification based on their ability to see someone else struggle, to talk about through classism that they're more than everything. You better get this. This is not everywhere. Watch
Michael
this.
III of the Byzantine Empire was saved from death by Basilius, who Michael in turn favored with gifts and prestige. Basilius, lusting for more power, murdered Michael out of greed. Instead of showing gratitude, he was insatiable. Trust from a distance.
That's sadism. Sadism, again, to where individuals reap or they get gratification from the perspective of, watch this, where they get a sensation from the perspective of hurting or using or lying on other people. What's going on, Nine? You can come on if you want to, bud. Let me put this in the room. I'm going to take my time today. If I'm all over the place, I'm all over the place. But when you push me, I'm like Rambo. When that sheriff kept pushing him. Man, I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to do what I got to do. I'm trying to respect everyone's narratives. But doggone it, you keep pushing me. Petey, you killing me, Petey. You killing me. And when you get to that point, it's time to make it obvious. Let's get back to the video.
People are selfish and pursue their own interests. Former opponents make more loyal and stronger friends.
Did you hear what he just said? People are selfish and pursue their own interests. Yeah, they having you on their channel for a reason. That's why from the beginning, I never isolated the group at all. There was no big me and no little you. Everyone was welcome to the platform. So if you see these type of individuals all of a sudden, overnight, change their platform, they're scared because they're going to be caught. They're going to be identified. Some of you are following people and are being a part of something where you're being used as a slave. And it's often said throughout the narrative that you wish you could be where I am.
Law number 3. Conceal your intentions. The Marquis de Sévigné wanted to seduce a young countess. Instead of being indirect and subtle, he exposed his true feelings for her and she lost all interest, as he blurted out that he loved her. Add a sense of unexplicable mystery to your character.
Watch this. If you want people to follow you, add a sense of mystery to your character. Now you see me, now you don't. I'm invisible, I'm here. This spirit is so easily understood and figured out. I come to people pages just for a reason. Because if you don't respond to me or you don't respect me, then you see me as a threat to your Machiavellianism. I got you. I know it. Trust me. I waited for this. I waited for this. You see me as a threat to your sadism. You see me as a threat to your psychopathic behavior. Whoo! Man, y'all better share this video. So guess what, Kwame Brown? This is what was going on, bruh. Back to the video.
Try to help them instead and you will burn alongside them. Law number 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. Otto von Bismarck led the king's hand in uniting a mighty Prussia. None other than Bismarck was able to do so. He proved himself to be an indispensable asset and had his strong position secured. Be the only one who can do what you do, or see yourself replaced in fear. So,
oh my God. Be the only one who can do what you do. That means these individuals use the I complex, and you're isolated and away from it. Do you get that? They won't do what we do on this channel to where myself as an individual, I build what I have so you can have it too. All right? It's all about themselves. It's inclusive. They don't want you to look like them. They don't want you to act like them. You can't go where they go, and you can't do what they do or be who they are. That's why if you look at D-Mac's channel now, guess what? We did it for him. Why? Because we have nothing to hide. We're not in fear, and we're not scared. And first of all, we don't want to isolate anyone based on our inferiority complex. Some of y'all gonna get it.
Sooner or later. Law number 12. Use selective honesty to disarm your victim. Count Victor Lustig was going to double Al Capone's $50,000. Instead of running with the money, he gave it all back to Capone, who thought he was being played by a con artist. Capone gave Lustig the $5,000 simply to help the honest man. Tell the truth to gain your opponent's trust. Be honest when expected to be dishonest, to throw your opponent off guard.
Let me go back to, I want to go
Talents
back to
capable of doing what you can't. Law number 8.
let me go back. Let me go back.
War, Erwin Rommel was known for his superior skill and cunning in the deceptive strategy. All of the opposition were demoralized and doubting their chances of success.
Let me take my time. Where there's weakness, there has to be evidence of strength. And the only way that strength comes into fruition is a person has to learn how to manipulate the masses. All right. So this is what the slave owner did. Watch this. How can you have one person in the field with 1,000 Negroes and they don't attack him? Have you ever thought about that? How can you have one slave owner's worker in the field with 1,000 Negroes and they still do what he says and no one gets out of line? Better read this book. It'll open up some things to you. I watch it happen every day on YouTube. You gather and you garner other people's abilities because if they say somebody is this, guess what you say? Yeah, that's what they are. In the field and being led. Oh yeah, yeah, this person is this and that. I've had a person tell me tell me BS. You stole another person's content and page. Well, God, and he ain't doing nothing I'm doing. So when did I steal it? That just shows you a part of this law. Because what it does, it creates a false narrative for weakness that sounds like strength to prevail.
As facing him, your reputation precedes you. Build and protect it carefully. Law number 6, court attention at all cost. Pablo Picasso would not allow himself to fade into the background. He would rather paint something out of the ordinary and ugly than be forgotten. All publicity is good publicity.
Did you hear what he just said? He would rather paint something ugly than to be forgotten. This spirit of weakness it exists big time in corporate America. It exists big time on YouTube. And what are individuals doing? They're using this false narrative to present their own reality to trick and deceive many. I'm sorry, I got to go back because I'm going to break it down to you today. Kwame Brown, I'm telling you, man, this stuff is done on purpose. There are delusional individuals on YouTube, Facebook, and all social media. And if you don't understand how it works, you won't be a part of it. They will isolate you. They will separate
his true
you
feelings for her, and she lost
like
all
nothing.
interest as he blurted out that he loved her. Add a sense of unexplicable mystery to your character. Law number 5.
I had to go back to that. Why would a person add mystery to their character? Why would they hide their true self from you? Unless there's something about themselves they don't want you to know. When we come live, we go live. We live stream. You can see D-Mac. You can see myself. We have nothing to hide. You see my house. You see where we are. You see what goes on. You see the green screen. You see D-Max. We have nothing to hide. Why would we create a mystery when we want to all be a part of a loyal gathering? I think there's some truth there.
4. Always say less than necessary.
The reason some people have a lot of people on their panel because they do want to say less than necessary. Because to be honest with you, they only study a limited amount of the narrative and they need you to produce it for them. I'm not saying that I'm overly aggressive or out-talk D-Mac, but I make sure that I'm versed in every subject. I don't seem like farce or phony or fake. But see, because some people can read you. Some people have figured you out and it's going around. Weakness does not have a voice and its volume sucks.
Law number 5. So much depends on reputation, guarded with your life. During the Second World War, Erwin Rommel was known for his superior skill in cunning and deceptive strategy. All of the opposition were demoralized and doubting their chances of success facing him. Your reputation precedes you. Build and protect it carefully. Law number 6. Court attention at all cost. Pablo Picasso would not allow himself to fade into the background. He would rather paint something out of the ordinary and ugly than be forgotten. All publicity is good publicity. Don't let yourself become one of many. Law number 7.
Did you hear what he just said? Don't be average. Don't let yourself become what? A part of many. Don't do it. And the only way you can do that, you have to lie. You have to manipulate. You have to steal. And you have to suggest that you're the only one.
Get others to do the work for you.
I can stop right, and we're going to stop right there because I want to show you some other things. He just said get others to do the work for you. Get others to do the work for you. Who does that sound like? I got all them black people out there in that field. Forgive me if you hear me. I'm drinking water and different things. I don't have my screen on my mic. But I got all them people out in that field. I'm going to get them to do the work. Let's see what 9 says. Hold on one second, 9. Let me remove this and put it back. We do figure it out. If you're not prepared for the subject spoken upon, and it's very disappointing. Come on, 9, talk. Talk. Because it is a reality. And what it does is people do this. They'll get a ton of people in the room so they can hide themselves. That's why when I go to certain rooms, they won't say acknowledge me. Why? Because the content and the information that's being processed for me is too great and too much. And that's what we're talking about today. It will cause them to be outshined. And weakness never wants to be outshined. Where strength said we can all celebrate together. I saw it this morning. Done nothing to it. I saw it this morning. And I was sitting back praying, and someone in the room said, "Oh, hey, we got Big J on here. We like that too." You understand? Well, yeah, come on, man. Look what 9 said. What's up, D? 9 said, "Man, I wasted my time watching a YouTuber not prepared the other day, and I almost unsubscribed." Hey, did you get the topic I'm on, D?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, man, what I'm talking about, I'm talking about these weak individuals on YouTube, man, using the power of the 48 powers, the 48 powers, something like that. But I'm showing a
Yeah, the
video of it.
48 laws of power.
Yes. Yeah, and people don't know it, D. People go to these channels and be raving, and these guys are sadistic, they're weak, they're almost psychopathic. They're part of the dark triad. And because they're weak, you never hear them talking about their women, talking about their wife, talking about their girl, nothing. And most people can't see through these fake, phony individuals. Trust, man, I'm about to expose them all based on what happened this morning. And you can come at me because I know you. I got you now. I got you now.
A lot of them really be talking to convince themselves. They be trying so hard. I stop most of the time, and then I have to ask the question: are you trying to convince me, or are you trying to convince yourself?
It's all
And as
good,
far as
man.
you were saying, as I was coming in, you were saying how they'll get into a room with a bunch of people so that they can hide themselves. And yeah, you have people that I liken that to people who say that they want to go to a big ministry so that they can get lost in the crowd and they won't have any obligation to do anything.
Yes,
Um,
sir. Yes, sir. And they can hide themselves. And what I want to do, I want to read this part, man, because it's very, very important, man. And I'm going to read it to everybody. Because some of these YouTube and content creators are doing nothing but using you. They're doing the same thing corporate America and the slave owner did. They're using you. That's why they put pictures in front of you to subliminally show you, oh, this is where I'm at. You can't do this. You can't be like me. And they're literally telling you that you're a bust, you're nothing, and you're supporting, and you're sitting up there saying, oh, yeah, man, I'm a part of this, man. This person is real. Man, no, you're being used. Wake up. Watch this.
that's it.
And can you see that, D? Or you want me to read it? Because my eyes are bad, dog.
Oh, I can't see it. It's too small for me.
I got it. Watch this. In the 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene asserts that whether you like it or not, you are a part of a never-ending game of power. On YouTube is a never-ending game of power. You are either a pawn being played by a more powerful person than you. Either, watch this, let me get it right. You're either striving or wielding for power, or you're a pawn being played in someone else's game. Do you know how many pages I go to, man? And I watch people who are actually being played by someone else and they don't know it, and they be rah, 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 super chat, da, 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 and they're doing nothing but playing you. This is a weak individual who have studied the game based on this book, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and they're using you. And what they do when they find another, strong Negro come into the group that can identify their character, they do? They separate him and isolate him from you because he knows that you can take everything he has. Go ahead, Big
brother.
D. I'm sorry.
I saw something a couple months ago that really broke my heart, man, and it goes back to the sister Jaguar Wright. She was invited to be on this YouTuber's show, and the YouTuber came in the sense of like she was a sister and she wanted to help the sister out. But then when she got the sister on the show, she started cussing out and they got into a big argument. And she made herself look bad in trying to make this lady look bad. And man, I thought it was one of the most disgusting acts that a person could do to try to get some views and some likes. And
I
I
just
think
yeah.
that content provider, she lost a lot of subscribers behind how she did that, man. It was cold blooded, and I was like, man, I hope people are learning from this, because she really showed her what she's willing to compromise to that go get some views or whatever, and it wasn't even worth it in the long run.
100%, man. I'm telling you, it's called divide and conquer. But I have to separate myself from anybody who can expose me or the people other people will like and do. Watch this. You do not know how great you are until someone comes after you. Thieves don't break
Right.
into an empty house. They just don't do it. There's no
You're
value.
right.
Thieves only
That's right.
talk about where there's value. Oh, this person stole my content. Or this person's acting like me. You know why? Because from a Machiavellian perspective, you're scared. You're weak. And most of all, you're trying to cover up what you're not. I got you now. I've studied this for a while. You can keep your little trolls. Don't want them. But you're discovered now, and I'm not done.
Well,
What
nine
nice.
say
Go ahead. Go ahead.
it said well, weak now is everyone is woke. You can't say this, can't say that. That's Mandingo fighting. But those same people are the biggest boxing and MMA fans.
Yes, sir. Talk good, man. Talk good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna expose this narrative because this is what Kwame Brown went through. This is what
Oh yeah.
Kwame went through, and that's what I want to
This
do,
Addison
man.
wasn't much of a
Let me go
scientist,
back.
but a
Hold on one second.
businessman. He
I want to deal with this one more time because there's some things that he says 1 through 5. I'm gonna play them so when people come on here, they can hear it. I'm not
Law
gonna go
number
away
one,
from it.
never outshine the master. Nicolas Fouquet made the mistake of appearing larger than his king, Louis XIV, and spent his remaining days incarcerated. Avoid victories over superiors. It will cost you more than it is worth.
Do you see how they trick people's minds, Deke? Don't ever come after me. This is my channel. So what they do, they exclude the other individuals by calling them names. All right. So we
Yeah.
call them slave names. And people just
Yep.
don't get it. Assign was a nigga name.
Uh-huh.
So what that
See.
does, it brings classification through identification through subjugation. Go ahead, Big D.
And that's where I get the 3Ds from, where they discredit, they're going to demonize you, then they're going to dismiss you.
You
That is
got
the
it.
process they do every single time, especially when you do something that they don't approve of. They're going to discredit you, they're going to demonize you and dismiss you, man.
Man, what you just said, I saw this morning, man. I went on the channel to be nice. I've never talked crazy to the guy. The guy said some misinformation about myself. I clarified myself, talked to him about it. You know what he's basically telling me? Man, my principles are the 48 laws of power. You're not needed. You're not wanted. So if you ever come around, we're not going to say anything to you. But when I was first on there, all my points were cool, great. But when my channel started to grow, it became a problem. See, condescending. But let me tell you what happened. There was one guy on there this morning, man. He was shouting out everybody else. Again, I never said anything about the brother. Matter of fact, if you look at his pay thing, I gave a lot of I contributed a lot. But watch this.
Yeah.
Never said one word, but there was somebody in the chat that said, "Hey, I listen to Big J too. His content is good too." Then he
I
said, "Well,
saw
you know
that.
what?" Yeah, then he said, "Well, we got all the content creators in here this morning." He started naming them off. My name was on there. I didn't say a word. I left. I will never go back.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that person was only having specific people on his platform. Now he put the link in the room. Who does that, D? Don't we do that?
Mm-hmm. You
You're a shine, bro.
know, I was once told, man, as you climb to a higher height and as you elevate, there's certain things that are not going to be able to live at that elevation that you're climbing to. So certain things are going to start dying off, and when they do, it's not going to be it's not going to be a pleasant thing,
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
everybody wants to go on that. Everybody wants to elevate with you. Everybody wants to go to that next level, but not everything is going to survive on that level. So
Oh man, Nine is talking, man. I know I got that platform up there. Listen what Nine just said. A distracted mind can never be united. Oh my
yeah.
God. He said a distracted mind. So what some people are doing in these rooms, they're distracting people so there cannot be a united front on social media to bring about a truth to where everybody ain't. And I'm not talking about benefiting. So everybody will have an understanding. In the Bible, in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 15, God says this. He said, I give you pastors or teachers after my own heart to teach you knowledge and to give you understanding. I'm telling you, Doc, every time I hear somebody not representing God and they're not true to the nature of it, I'm going to blast them. I'm sorry. You can come at me, say whatever, but one thing for sure, in 57 years, I got some truth in this mind up here. Then listen to what he says. There's no need for martial arts because we enslave ourselves. Social media, video games, and Amazon. This man is on it today. Go ahead, D. I'm sorry.
No, that was good because I was thinking about algorithms and things like that because we were talking about that yesterday, and I see how things are being exposed, and what he was saying was absolutely right. We get distracted by so many things, but that's what those things are there for. They spend millions and billions of dollars on things to distract us so that they can pass certain things in legislation or whatever. It's kind of like the how the magician, he make you look. He's
Right.
distracting you
Facts.
with this hand while he's using the
Right.
sleight of
You
hand
got it.
to make you think it's a trick. And it's that whole same concept.
Yeah, the three card Molly.
That's it. Yeah, they
Yeah,
playing three card money with us all the time.
yep. It's a mind game until you figure out that I'm using you. And I've seen a lot of brothers get stabbed, shot, or knocked out behind that game. Because guess what? It's just a matter of time before you fall. The Bible says, watch this, I'm going to say it again. It is with loving kindness have I drawn you. By this you will know that all people are my disciples or my followers or my students because they have love toward one another. This is why those individuals are paying for coming at Kwame Brown, because we should all have love because we're united by the same situation called slavery or coming out of slavery, or we're united by that we were an abused people based on someone else's aggression. That's why some people got to always talk about somebody else to validate themselves or make themselves look good. But yet people keep running to the mules when there's a horse on there that you can get on and go faster to where you need to go. But you rather get on a mule.
Mm, wow. Yeah, they love to get on that mule. You know why? Because that mule is gonna drag everything out a lot slower.
Yes,
And they're
sir.
gonna drag every little bit of money. It all goes back to capitalism.
Come
They're
on.
gonna drain every bit of money out of this. They're gonna capitalize on it in as many ways as they can before they let this story go and just let it fade away. That's what it all comes back to. All of this stuff is a setup for them to capitalize on something.
Here's how you
And
know. I'm sorry. Go ahead, D.
no, no, go ahead. I was finished.
Here's how you know. How did you know you were on the right channel with us, D, and subscribing, becoming a member, and all those things? How did you know that? My platform is not very big. Kwame Brown right now has shut a lot of people down from their numbers. Because
Yeah.
if your tags are not saying Kwame Brown, I don't care what video you put out, it's getting shut down. So he shut down a lot of people. But how did you know you were at the right channel?
When I came on, and I don't know, it was it was just I my spirit bore witness to what was being said. That was
Right.
really it, because most channels that I go to, I'll sit and I'll listen to uh within the first 5 minutes, I'll know what that person is about.
Wow.
And and I go from there. That'll make me okay. Well, I'm gonna listen to a whole episode, and then I listen to a whole episode, and you know, just go from there. And like, there's quite a few content providers that I'm a subscribed with, but I didn't join. You know,
Right.
there's very few that I've joined. That maybe I think you're probably the only person that I've joined, really, to be honest.
Right. And
And that's only because I'm really selective. I'm like I said, I'm not trying to be anybody. I'm just trying to um, get with like-minded people and really be able to communicate and reach out to other people through this internet and bring some light to it, because there's so much darkness on this internet, and there has to be a vein of light somewhere in all this darkness.
yeah, see, some people are the wrong people to antagonize. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. I'll tell you, I'm sick. I'm 6'1", 340 pounds. I'm not using that as far as my, because I'm not aggressive. I'm using that to say, man, I'm not out to go after anybody's YouTube or anything else. I'm just here to present information. I've been doing this since 2016 on other platforms. And I told that person that, showed them I've always been a creator. It didn't matter. That's when I learned Machiavellianism. That's a part of that. And the dark triad is a part of his life. When a person won't adhere to the truth that you're trying to tell them, they're weak and there's something wrong with them. And they're exploiters. They're actually perpetrators. And when most of the people are in these people's room, they're being perpetrated on and don't even know it. Because through the subliminal message, they're telling you you're nothing, but I'm everything. But you better come support me and you better be here. And what they'll do, they'll put the right narrative in front of you, like the slave master did. He had Mr. Billy beat you while he told Mr. Billy to do. So there's someone else sitting in the room and giving you the information while they sit back in the corner in the cut, and boom, there it is. Look at what
Absolutely.
Nine says. It's easier to beg for a ride than to drive.
No
No
one
one
wants
wants to respond.
responsibility. Hey, you know what? That's it. Everybody wants to sit back and let somebody else build it, and then they come in after it's been built and reap the rewards of what's been built. But that's not how a dynasty is built. That's not how a civilization is built. You got to start from
Right.
the ground up, and that requires a lot of sweat and a lot of hard time. So, you know, let's see. Now it says I actually came to the channel to support and help a black man build. They spread a false narrative that we don't help each other.
That's right.
Absolutely, and this is the narrative that we come on to break. That I'm glad you said that, Nine, because that's what really attracted me to the channel, was
Yes.
breaking the false narratives
Yes.
and having an opportunity to speak outside of what's been told for them to say. The agenda that's being pushed. Have that the industry behind you pushing your buttons, telling you what to say, and people can actually speak freely here. And that's the difference between this channel and a
Law number
lot of the
two,
content
never put
providers.
too much
A lot
I'm
of the
sorry, D.
content providers are trying to become characters. They're trying to make a something that's marketable for whatever their endeavor is, and that's not what we're about.
You
You
got
know,
it. You
so
got it. You got it. That's why I watch this, man. I'm gonna show you something. It's very important that I show this. Oh, that's not it. That's your channel. Go ahead, talk D for 1 minute. Let me see if I can find this image. I had an image I want to share because this is what they sell you on. I was in sales, man, half my whole life. I was an insurance agent, so I know how people
um,
sell people on pipe dreams. And what people
yeah,
do, they're doing the same thing in these rooms. They're selling you on a pipe dream. In other words, saying, I got something you got. You can't go where I'm going. And what people do, they buy that, man. And they buy it because no one's telling the truth. I don't have to sell you on a pipe dream. I want to sell you on the truth. And if I sell you on the truth, you'll come and you'll be a part and sell other people on the truth. We don't have to lie to each other. That's not the protocol, neither is that the understanding. The understanding is the truth. Yeah, I can't find it, man. I had a picture of the beach. Now, this is how, when through the 48 laws of power, they said what they do to people. They said they come in these rooms and
Hmm.
they show these pictures or these slides when they're going live, and what that is to
Yeah.
do to show you you're not on my level, so you can desire to be like me. Because the reality, I'm really weak, but I want to put this image in front of you subliminally so you can be. I know
Yeah.
why you don't watch this. Let me say that. I know why you don't want me, bruh. Cause you see, I study. I'm gonna figure study out stuff out. Like we talked about algorithms in the other day and COBOL and certain things.
Yeah.
One thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna research. I'm gonna figure it out. It's gonna take a minute because when I watch, I don't know woman. There's no talk of. That's all I hear. So I'm like, okay, but I
Yeah.
didn't come at you. You came at me, like Kwame Brown said. Then you,
My
then you,
brother,
then you. Go ahead, D.
I'm laughing because, man, anytime I talk to somebody who make reference to the 48 laws of power, I'm saying all they're really doing is regurgitating the Art of War by Sun Tzu. They're just saying it in a
Come
different
on,
way.
come
It's the
on.
same exact thing, same exact principles, and all of that stuff. Um, and then too, the power source that I rely on is the one true source of all power, and you don't have to break it down into 48 laws. Just so I just have a different understanding of power, and if you have to, um, if you have to go through a whole bunch of stuff to show people that you have power, that's not true power.
It can never be. And watch this. I'm gonna read what 9 says, but watch this. True strength does not need to solidify itself. Neither does it reject more power, because power is needed to advance the cause. But weakness
Hmm.
it does not want strength, because weakness needs to garner all the attention to be justified within himself to say, I'm the man. And when I see
Hmm.
that, man, I'm like, whoa. And what I'll do is I'm gonna keep. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. I'm doing research. So if I come to your channel, if I do something and I write or something, you don't say anything. My research proved itself. Now, what happened today? Somebody spoke out. That's research.
Hmm.
In other words, why are you not paying attention to this man who also creates good content? Boom, I won. No matter what you do, no matter what, I should show the picture of it. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, you're weak. And what you're doing, you're leading people based on a false narrative, and you know it. I should say something, but I'm not.
Yeah, yeah, that goes back to when we were talking the other day, and we were talking about someone. If you know that you are the best, if you feel like you have to talk bad about somebody else or downplay somebody else, then you're really not as good as you think you are. If you're that threatened by another person and you feel like you have to do that. If I'm good at what I do, and if I'm top notch, then it's going to be acknowledged and recognized. But if I'm not, then it's not. It's just that simple. But people will it, try to step on you to make themselves look good.
Facts.
But then they'll turn around and talk about unity and uplifting black people and this and that. That's the same thing that those guys tried to do to Kwame Brown.
Right.
They try to talk about how they uplift the black man, but yet and still on the slide they sneak dissing him and stuff like that. It's the
Exactly.
same spirit that's running through those people.
Because you
And
know why?
and they're just
Yeah.
conditioned themselves to get
Hold
on
on,
that level.
D.
That's what they want to do, is condition themselves in the mind already to get on that level of a Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson them. So yeah.
Because they need people, man. Because they need people, and people only follow what's controversial, and they think a person is winning. Like Nine just said, people only challenge you when they know you're winning, and that's the truth. That's the truth. Like we said earlier, people don't break into empty houses, and what they do, I don't go to that person's channel. BS. Yes, you
Yeah.
do. Yes, you do. I can hear it when you talk. I can see it in your weakness, because your weakness tries to come back and exploit your own self. Oh, yeah, see, I've been doing things different in the last month. Why are you telling on yourself, bruh? Your audience don't need to know that. If you're so perfected, why are you telling? No, or is it possibly because of. Hold on, D. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go get something else. Is it possibly because of this? Let me get to this right quick. that we created because we showed the truth on what this channel is about? Is it possibly because of this? Did this get to you? Because I don't use I in a sense that when you come to this channel that I'm true to my members, to our membership, not mine, Lord forgive me. I'm true to our members. And when you become a member, there are perks, not just you giving super chats and giving money, but we give it all back to you.
Well, see, that
Wow.
puts pressure on them. That puts a lot of pressure on them. Now they're gonna have to have something better to offer because people come over here and they be like, wow, well, if he's gonna give me all of this and he's helping me like this, why am I not getting that from you? And I've been subscribed to you and I've been a member of yours for this long, so you really ruffling some feathers with that.
Hey, that's what's supposed to happen, Doc. Or
Like
because
you're
we got
making
to,
them raise
yeah.
yeah,
Or
you're
because we
making them
got to,
raise their
yeah.
standard up.
And that's what it should be. If you're taking people's money, you should appreciate them enough to do something so they can see that you really care opposed to talking. Or is it our theme song? Or is it stuff like this right here? I don't know. This is not imitating anyone. I wonder what it possibly could be. Or is it something like this? The little change we
It is.
get, we put it back into the community because it's
It
about the
is.
people. It's about the people. We are a true democracy for the people, by the people. Hey, I don't
You
know.
know they're
But guess
gonna
what? No, go ahead, D.
they're gonna try to kill the truth at every turn. That's the main thing, trying to kill the truth.
Man, Rambo went to that town. He said, all I want is something to eat. He said, all I want is something to eat. But the sheriff kept pushing him. He tried to come into the town. He didn't bother nobody. Then when they took him in the jail cell, they beat him. And he was, watch this, D-Mac, because you military. He was military and there was no respect. In other words, with them being law enforcement and they being in the same place or the type of suggested law force, it seemed like they would have respected him. But again, there is Machiavellianism based on the dark triad because of a male's weakness. And at the end of it, they all paid
Mhm.
for it. There's some things that you just don't do. Boys do and kids do, but grown men don't do. There's just certain things you don't do, especially if you don't know what a person's capable of. See, they didn't know what what's the boy name? Rambo was capable of. Because if they did, they would have never did it. They didn't know what Jesus Christ was capable of. Because if they did, they said it out their own mouth. If we would have known he was the Son of God, we would have never crucified him. Nine
Absolutely
says
right.
this. Nine says one hand can't clap about his team. Wow, I'm done. Nine is cooking today. I'm done.
That's, that's
He
it.
said.
It's about team. It's about
He said.
teamwork. And I support these guys like new media. Shout out to them. I've been supporting a lot of these guys. AB the Hero, Ball Facts. All of these guys, I've been subscribed to them for a long time. I've been supporting these guys for a long time. So it's not like I just popped up on the scene and started supporting. I've always been supporting these guys because, for one, I love the Charlotte Hornets. I love the Ball family, and that's something that holds my interest. So anybody that's going to talk on these type of topics are going to get my attention, initially. And
Until you
so
became a part of Big J.
exactly. And then whenever I found this platform, and then things started to grow and things started to, and like I said, I just came in and just my little humble opinions. That's all. That's all. My little humble opinions, and I enjoyed the interaction with everybody here. And now that it's growing, and to see other people who um, don't celebrate in your growth, it just reminds me of the scripture. And it
Right.
said, basically, I'm paraphrasing that people aren't always going to celebrate with you, you
That's right.
know.
That's right.
So just I prepare my spirit for that, and I prepare my spirit for the trolls and everybody else gonna do whatever, but I
My
understand what it is.
my job is to get you monetized. I'm not going to call myself any type of prospective leader because when you call someone a leader, that puts them over you. That makes them your figurehead. That makes them in
Mm-hmm.
control of you. I'm not doing that. My job is to serve you. I'm a servant because you came to the channel. So now my job is to get you monetized. That's how it goes. I don't need to be called a name or a title because that places me over you. I don't want the responsibility of being over anybody and taking their money and taking their things and don't give it back to them. What I want to do is just be a figurehead from the perspective that I'm like Christ. I'm serving. So D, this is what we did. We got it done now. Let's get you monetized. Let's change your channel. Let's dropping your videos. Tonight you're doing your live. Whether I don't care what people feel about you and how you present. It's our channel, and we're gonna give everybody the rights to be equal based on we are accepting donations.
Yeah. That's what they don't like. They don't like the teamwork. They don't like the looking at each other as equals because it destroys their sense of classism.
Yes,
They
now you own it.
they want to have that sitting on the throne and looking down at everybody else.
Yes,
But that's not conducive in what you're doing here. So now you're shedding a light on their classist way. Yeah,
yes. Come on,
and any
inability.
it's gonna cause friction, man. Anytime you push against the grain, it's gonna cause that friction.
It's the same thing like the North or the South. I mean, the North and the South. Some slaves are free, some are not. The same thing is going on, but why people can't see it, I don't know. You're actually on some people. You're actually when you go to people's channel, you're on their what you call that thing, plantation. But you're
Oh
just
yeah,
not smart enough to listen to what they're telling you. You're not smart enough to understand why they dangle those pictures and those videos in front of you. I know, because you want to be over me, but you can't. You don't know my economics or anything else. But watch this.
yeah.
Go ahead, D.
Imagery is something else. Uh,
Yeah.
they that's what got them hooked, and they feel like they can use that same tool to hook other people. But some people are smart enough to see past that.
Yeah, that's what I just said, man. I don't feel sorry for people. I believe everyone is where they belong. I believe that because we're all given a destination and we're all given the word opportunity. The word opportunity in the Latin means chance. We're all given chance. And science says within life, we're going to be given two chances. We just don't know when they are. 6 years ago, I started a YouTube channel, three of them. Two Christian channels and my bass guitar channels. I just don't do YouTube. There's a lot of things that I do. My wife, my kids, my family.
Mhm.
But this is my niche. This is what I love doing. I started a clothing store, man. You can go online and look at it. It's called Ave Clothing. A it stands for A and I ain't been on there so long. An ultra vibrant enterprise. All right, and I started
Mm.
that store, man. It has a ton of clothes and things on there for African American women. I said women's. I don't talk about it on here because it's irrelevant. I don't ask
Mhm.
Kwame, hey man, I got this store, man. Will you give me something? Will you support me? Or will you shout me out? I don't need to be shouted out, man. What God has for me is for me. When it's time for this channel to reach 100,000, it will. See, watch this. If man does it, it ain't no good. But if God
Yeah,
does it, it lasts forever. I don't want
that's
nothing
it.
from man. Nothing.
That's
Miss me
it.
with that stuff. But see, watch
When
this.
God gives you the vision
Come
for
on.
something,
Come
He's gonna
on.
give you the clientele as well.
Yes,
He's
sir.
gonna give you the customers right along with the vision. You just have to walk it out. That's all.
It's the same thing, man. The master got two people. He got one house Negro and he got a field Negro. And what that house Negro gonna do, most times they're very weak and they have inabilities that the field Negro has because he's been out there working. He's strong, his body is defined. All the sisters out there with him want him. But the field Negro in the house, he can't touch the white woman now. But when he goes to the field, them sisters don't want him. So what does he do? Oh, let me stop. I was about to start something. I was gonna tell how
Mm.
he snuck in there with Mass that night.
Uh, uh, uh.
Cause he's not wanted.
That's
So what
it.
I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use Master's authority when he's not here as though I'm the man. So I want all you out there to know I'm it. That's what Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson did to Kwame.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
why that's why he didn't fit Michael Jordan's narrative. Because his corresponding understanding and image was that of a field Negro. So you don't fit this. I don't care how good you play. Man, I watched the meme on Kobe Bryant, man. Kobe was in a room talking about Kwame Brown like a dog. So I could see why Kwame had so much pressure. But when he went to watch this, it's sometimes you got to break away. I don't want to be a part of certain channels. When Kwame went to Detroit, he came back and played the Lakers, man, and he was balling. Matt Barnes then tried to give him the business. So that, you know what that meant? Man, I'm jealous of you. Kwame, them cats always been jealous of you. That's why he tried to knock you over. I'm telling you, two people on YouTube trying to knock people over.
Yeah, yeah, and it's sad, but it needs to be seen. All of these things are being exposed for a reason, so that people can actually see in real time what these people are talking about. Because, like they said before, all of these things have been taking place. It's just now we have the technology to see it in real time and to catch people in real time. So,
Exactly.
so yeah, more power to all of these people that's getting busted and being exposed for the exploitation that they've had control over for a long time. And let's see, Nine says most people don't know I'm an author. Are
I
you
did.
really?
I did.
Wow. Well, I'm an aspiring author. I'm working on my first novel still.
Yep.
Um, but yeah,
He
wow.
never he
Did
never
not
told me,
know.
D Mac. He never told me. But when you read him and because he's interesting. But most of us get
Hmm.
on each channel and we use people to give us super chats, do this, do that, just be a part of us because we're using them because our narrative is what? The 48 powers. But when you really want to know and understand a person, you watch every word they type. You watch
Hmm.
everything they say. Someone taught me a long time ago the smallest word has the most profound meaning. And when Nine began to talk, I said, there's something different. That's what I knew. I said, okay, he's at a different level. He's presenting something from an articulate perspective that's different from most people. That's what I say.
Yeah.
That's why I asked him before one time, did he work in entertainment? But no, I understand. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the difference is we're building over time. Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Watch this. Rome, and this is what I like about war and history. The Greeks at one time were one of the group of strongest people because of philosophy, and their ways of life influenced the world through Greek culture. But
Yeah.
then when Rome came into play, they adopted and identified the city states concept. See, that's a little college do for you.
Hmm.
When they adopted the city states as Greece did, it brought them to dominance and power. So what I'm saying is this, you should be willing to share your ideologies if you're confident within yourself. It is only those who are not confident within themselves who are scared based on the 48 powers to share their confidence with others. This is why their terminology and their language suggests no one's like me. Everyone is indifferent who I am based on my slaves that come into the room, that follow me and that are part of me, and I hide myself, but yet they still respect me. Not me. Not me, bro. I'm good.
Let's
I'm
see,
good.
that's it. Whenever you come to those understandings like that, that makes you more powerful and that makes you more dangerous in their sight.
Yes,
The
exactly.
more understanding that you gain of their system and how things go, the more dangerous you are.
Yep.
And that's that's what we're becoming now. We're becoming more dangerous. We're becoming more of a threat. And so hey, I welcome it though. I've never ran from anything. My parents didn't name me Kunta Kinte for no reason. I'm always up for a battle. So
Exactly.
so whatever they bring, hey, bring it. But you better bring a lunch because we bring the spirit of God with us, and
Yep.
there's no power greater than that. So
And I know I'm gonna lose some subscribers, but it had to be said because some people want to be a part of a system of slavery. Watch this. There were some slaves who got away, and when those slaves got away, let me forget that. Let's go to Egypt. When the children of Israel were released from Egypt out of that bondage, are all them years of that bondage, and we're gonna read your comment in 2 seconds, Nine. All them years of that bondage, they got out into a place because they had one day of hunger. Not, watch this, not willing to sacrifice. They said it would have been better for us to stay in Egypt under a hard taskmaster. No, I took enough whoopings. I ain't going back. Y'all go back. I took enough of my woman being messed with by the Egyptians. Y'all go back. But when you don't have a woman and understand what that means, you don't know how to make your thoughts inclusive of the family. It's only about yourself. Let's read Nine's
Yeah.
comment.
Said, when you get a chance, Google my name as depicted, and you will see my 3 books. I definitely do that, and I want to support any author, anybody that's any writing, because I've been a writer for years. Started off writing poems in middle school, then as I grew older, writing songs, and as I did music, writing songs, and then as I've gotten older, I got into, I've always wanted to write a novel, but it wasn't until I retired that I really put energy into it. And man, it's something to write. It's because making a story is one thing, but creating a world, because that's basically what you're doing. You're creating a whole world, and it takes a lot. So hats off to all writers, authors, everybody in that field, because I see the struggle of writing a good book.
And that's the thing, man. We have to be supportive of all those in that area because it does matter. And he's 100% right, man. If we look here, 9 Days to Victory paperback. All right, all right. I go back and see some more of them. And that's what I'm talking about, man. Oh, he got Kindle version, so I can get it on my iPad. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Good
Wow.
deal, good deal, good deal.
Yeah. See, God knows who to send, man. I don't want just anybody who's not committed to what's this. We all bring something to the channel together. So we're all celebrated by what we've been given to help us get to the next level. And see, that's the key. If it's just us talking about the subject because we hear everybody and it's trending, that's not going to get you anywhere. It's those
Mm,
content creators that's been doing the same thing for 10 years that's got them to the level they're at. So what other people feel and what they do, I can care less. I can
that's
care
it.
less. I can care less. Nine, we celebrate you, bro. And we're gonna get those books, man.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely gonna order. I'm gonna give D-Mac the link, and we're gonna get those books. All right,
For
we're gonna
sure.
get those
For
books. That
sure.
matters, man, because I want to read when we talk. I want to be able to. Matter of fact, I put them on my Kindle. I want to be able to have that information so I can dialogue with you. See, the thing, I'm not scared of Nine because he said he's an author. I want to dialogue with him. I don't want to push him away. I don't want to separate
Oh,
myself because I'm in fear.
hey, I absolutely want to dialogue with him now because, like I said, being an author myself, yeah, I got to pick his brain because the process that I'm going through to write right now is tedious only because of um writing the way that I write. It's It's Yeah, you're right. You're right, Nine. It says that once you start, a higher power controls your hands, and that's the thing because as I write the stories, looking at the different outcomes to one particular situation, I could go 3 different routes with this situation, and then trying to narrow it down to what's the right route to go to lead into the next storyline that connects here. And it's Man, there's so much into it. But yeah, I definitely would want to pick his brain, and iron sharpens iron when it comes to things like that.
That's right. And so
But
does one
there's so
man's
much
continent.
talent.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so much talent that needs to be um capitalized on.
Yes.
Everything is being capitalized on in these last days, and the way that the system is being set up, like this is going to be the new age of things. It's not going
Yes.
to be be face to face so much anymore. It's all
Yep.
going to be these types of interactions, and so people are going to have to get used to this type of structure. The infrastructure is changing, and it's based on social media.
Wow. Hey, this one nine says books write themselves. Once you start, the higher power controls your hand. Wow, I'm about to get started again because I stopped. I stopped.
That's
Wow.
absolute truth. I attest to that 100% because
Wow.
I I will sit down and start writing, and it'll be it's like I'm on cruise control.
Wow.
Like somebody just put me on pilot, and I'm just cruising along. And the
Yeah.
story is flowing. I don't have to stop and think about nothing like a math problem or nothing like that. It just flows, man. It's a
D Mac.
gift.
Yeah. D Mac show tonight will be at 6 o'clock. We're gonna go ahead and get off so he have time to relax, prepare, and do what he needs to do. So 6 o'clock tonight we will be on. That's Pacific Standard Time. 8 o'clock. What is your time, D?
Central.
Central's time, 8 o'clock Central,
Yeah.
6 o'clock
Yeah.
Pacific Standard. So don't miss tonight. Don't miss tonight. It's going to be, and there's already a chat being started in that room about the topic tonight that's controversial. So you want to make sure that you be on there. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock, I have a special guest. His name is Samaj White. And Samaj is a master student from a HBCU in Georgia. He's from Grambling State University. He's also an AAU player, basketball player, played at one of the most prestigious high schools in California. We're going to talk to him tomorrow. He now owns a store in Georgia by the name of Purple Haze. There's some individuals that on his grand opening, Guy Tori, and a very well renowned rapper. So you're going to see a lot tomorrow. So be on tomorrow at 11 with myself, D Mac, as we be on tonight at 6 o'clock. Hey, Nine, good looking out, brother. You the man. And we want to say we appreciate you so much. I knew it was something. It just had to come into fruition. But it's great to even know. Do we seek to harm any people? No. Do we seek to hurt any channel? No. But if you talk, I'm going to talk back. That's what my wife says all the time. If you talk, I'm going to talk back.
That's it.
Yeah. Not that I'm going to disrespect you until you disrespect me. Then, hey, what a man sow, he's going to reap. So if you
That's
want to
it.
keep it going, that's up to you. You said your part, you showed your part. I did my part, I showed my part. It's up to you. Because I'm the man for the job. Everyone be
There it
blessed.
is.
Have a good day. Any final words, gentlemen?
Nope. Nothing there.
All right, Nine.
Guess not good.
Wait a minute, he said something else. Let me see. Oh, no, that's at the top. I put stuff over. I scrolled up and didn't even realize it. Oh, that's what he said. Hold on. Which one? What school is that?
Oh wow.
What school is that, D?
Wow.
Oh,
FAMU. That's
that's
Florida
right.
A&M.
That's
Florida
right. That's
A&M.
right.
Okay.
Wow. We got a lot going on in here. It's coming together. Another Come on. HBCU, come on, in the house.
That's it. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man, I'm telling you, man, this show is about to really grow with enthusiastic people who are going to be coming on. It's about to go to a whole nother level. So, but you know why? Because like Nine said, it's God's will. A higher power's will. Wow. Hey, Nine, we need to interview your son, man. Woo, we got to interview him, brother. Work it out if you can, man. We do appreciate it. Because I'm trying to bring all those who are part of the HBCUs on that I know who are part of it, and we're going to take it to a whole nother level. Not just talking about what we see in the paper, what people doing. We're going to bring actual people on. I'm going to try see if we can get Joe Torre. I'm telling you, man, we're about to take it to an entire different level. I got some NBA players that I'm working on. Oh, also tomorrow, Samaj White is a part of a program that I used to be in LA when I had middle school basketball, and a lot of one of his teammates ended up playing for the Lakers. So don't miss. Be here tomorrow. Thank you, Nine. We appreciate it, man. All right, until tonight at 6 o'clock, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you then, brothers.
All right. All right.
All right, now, later.